This is Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, written by Stevie Nicks when she was 17. Let's start out with a couple things before we start getting into the picking pattern. Number one, you're going to be capoed on fret 3, which puts us in E flat. The song is really in two keys. It'll go from C or E flat, C relative to the capo, and then it's going to go into B flat, or you could say G relative to the capo. There's two sections and a solo. So we're going to cover the two sections today, and then in video number 2 we'll do the solo. Let's look at your picking pattern. It is a Travis picking pattern that's going to consist of the intro playing 8 notes and the verses and choruses playing 7 notes. Just like that. The 8th note it's there. It's a little bit softer than the other 7 notes. Then you're going to go G, B. This is important that you play your second finger and your pinky. Then you're going to go to the almighty A minor 7 chord, which looks like a C chord without the third finger. Then you go back to G/B again. So let's play the intro. Once you get rolling on a pattern, you can hear how effective the Travis pattern is. Just the bass notes. Keep your hand relaxed. Move your fingers only as much as you have to strike the string. As we get into the verse, he's going to cut the pattern down by 1 note. End there. You can hear a difference. There's a little bit more time in here because there's a little riff he does. That's a Lindsey Buckingham riff if there ever was one. It's really a brilliant riff to throw in the middle of a very repetitive pattern. You have to be on your toes for that one because it kind of sneaks up on you. That's when it goes into what I probably would call the pre-chorus, the See My Reflection section. Let's break into section 2, and we're going to do that by playing C, G, B, A minor 7. Now we have a transition chord, which is going to be the dominant chord or 5 chord of G. We're going to end up on G. So what I do in this section, which is not exactly what he does on the live version. I played this song so many times that I've kind of grown fond of this little move. Those are your two sections. Let me go over that second section again. Now you can get away with just going. Either way, you have to do a D7 with an F sharp and a bass. This chord here is not a D7, it's really a D with F sharp and a bass. When I bring down this extra note, now we have a D7. I'm not really fond of that folk D7. This is just kind of my issue. But I love this. Because then it resolves to an open B, which gives a chord tone of G, the next chord we're going to, relative to the capo, of course. Next, D with F sharp and a bass, not D7, then E minor. Then you go back to the original chord progression. Turnaround again, or your transition back to G. Then you go into the solo, which we're not going to cover in depth today. Let me cover one more thing. During the second verse, Lindsey places a G at the top of the verse progression. Kind of a neat little trick. You can place it wherever you feel you want to put it. I play this song different every time. I'm giving you basically what he plays in the live version, which I've seen him do more than once. He tends to play it somewhat different every time also. It gives those chords a lift. You've got a C with a G on the top, G/B with a G top, and then an A minor 7. And the G happens to be the 7th of A minor. And you have the open G string, so you've got like an octave built into that chord. Actually, you've got a double octave, you've got 2 A's, 2 G's, and 1 little C. I never knew that. Boy, the things you discover after decades of playing. That's why the guitar is a fascinating instrument. Next time we will cover the solo, and we will run through the entire work. Lindsey's one of my favorite guitar players, one of the most underrated guitar players ever. Anytime you get a chance to play a Fleetwood Mac song, even one like this that's been done many times and been tutorialized many times, covered many times, it's still one of the great folk rock songs in history. So have fun with this. I'll see you next time, and we will finish up Landslide.